Hello, and welcome to the vlog.
Everyone's content farming.
Oh yeah.
I am so tired right now. Just getting that clear out the gate. If you're picking up on a different energy, I'm really, really tired, but I wanted to kick off this vlog because I think I'm going to kind of take you through like a week in my life before we go on vacation next Saturday, so just under a week from now. And I recorded a little bit from this weekend. We did Central Park, we did the Met. It was lovely. I saw friends. It was a nice weekend, but it was a lot of social plans and I'm so tired. So yeah, this is kind of going to be like, it's not even a reset week, just like surviving the week before we go on like a 8-day vacation, which should be amazing. It should be so nice. But surviving the week ahead of that and like kind of juggling the plans that we've got in place that just all happen to kind of land at the same time, some of which certainly my fault. The jet lag that I'm still feeling from our last travel, because like for context, we got back from California last Sunday, I think, like late last Sunday night. And I'm just like, I am bad at sleeping, like in general. So if anything kind of disrupts my sleep schedule, like I just the jet lag will be a saga. And it has been this week, unfortunately. Like there are a couple nights where I just like legitimately couldn't go to sleep because my mind was just like zzz, and like I didn't have like kind of proper like, you know, time to go to bed fatigue to kind of quiet that. So yeah, I'm so tired. Like we had like a nice weekend. We saw friends. We like were gone 2 weekends in a row because we had weddings 2 weekends in a row. So like that was exhausting. And in between we visited our parents, which was great. I'm glad we caught them, but also that was exhausting. Like just haven't really been in my routine in a while. And like last week we got it a little bit, but like I said, like the jet lag was messing me up. So like I didn't feel like fully kind of back to things. And I was hoping, even though I did not properly plan for it, to like kind of catch up on rest this weekend and maybe like reset. And then I just ended up having social plans every night that went longer than I thought they would because I struggle with restraint and also just like lose track of time very easily. So this is going to be a week of surviving my like 9 to 5 normal work routine while trying to prepare for a 8-day trip to Maui, which should be so exciting. I'm like stoked for it. Anyway, welcome to the vlog. I'm not always this grumpy and pessimistic, but your girl's going through it. I mean, in like the most privileged way, but I'm going through it. I'm really tired. So today was kind of meant to be the reset day. We weren't meant to stay out as late as we did last night. Sad. We voted. Amazing. I wanted to clean the apartment a little bit just to make sure it was like in decent shape because we're leaving like super early Saturday morning, so we're not gonna have a ton of like lead time to kind of prepare the place to be empty for 8 days. Yeah, I've been like doing like packing preparations, just like making sure I've got like warm weather stuff that like makes sense for the beach. Just like all like really cool stuff. I just wish it wasn't all concentrated like right on top of each other. And it was just kind of one of those things that at the beginning of the year we'd like kind of mapped out some stuff and like we knew we'd have a wedding in mid-October, and so it was like, okay, mid-October and then like early November trip, like that's fine, like gives us some time. But then, especially because like the wedding was going to be in like Tennessee, which is like not a terrible flight. But then we had other friends get engaged and set their date for the week immediately following that. So it ended up just being like, that ended up being like a 10-day trip with work from home. So like all sorts of like, and then the second wedding was in California. So it was like, it's going to be a fun week, but I'm tired. I'm tired ahead of it, and I'm tired thinking about it. But anyway, for today, I'm going to try to work out, get a little more energy, and then edit the vlog. I'll edit my video, and then hopefully that kind of sets us up to like start cooking dinner. And we're gonna do chili. We're gonna do vegan chili and a vegan cornbread, and I'm very excited. It should be really good. It should be very conducive to leftovers. We planned ahead yesterday. We got groceries, so that's all set. And yeah, that's where we're at. I'm just like spending the day trying to muster willpower to like do anything other than like sit and scroll on my phone because I'm really tired. But the show must go on. So I sort of wanted to check in just because there's not like a specific reason. At this point, I've taken you through my work from home day. I'll be working from the office tomorrow. But today it was work from home. So that was kind of nice, but I was feeling like a little bit like stressed out and overwhelmed. And I think this is like in theme with how I was feeling yesterday and just kind of like leading up to this trip. I think because this is like the first week-long trip I've taken in a long time, or like I guess that's not even that true. It's the first one I've taken this year, and it's the first one I've taken at my current job, so I think I'm feeling like a little bit overwhelmed by that, but I'm just feeling like there's so much I want to get done in my personal life to prepare, but also like in my work life to prepare, and there's like certain goals, and like I think too, because we've been traveling so much, I'm just feeling like certain kind of elements of my day-to-day have kind of slipped, or like certain like routines have slipped that help me feel like put together and like everything is kind of running as it should. There's just like kind of something right now about the spirit of like, oh, I need everything done, and I feel like I have that before trips. It's kind of this like weird perfectionist mindset that I like switch into, that I'm like, oh, all these things that I want to get done, and I think that like a lot of the time I'll kind of avoid that by just like avoiding thinking about the trip until like right before, and it's like, well, too late. Which is like one sort of tactic, but I think that can also feel bad like in the days leading up. So I feel like I need to find like this happy medium where like I am able to like think about it and plan for it ahead of time, but I'm not like unnecessarily stressing myself out and overwhelming myself in the process. Anyway, that's like a little bit where my head is at. I just feel like I'm like trying to both reset my life and prepare to append it simultaneously, and it's just like feeling like a lot and like difficult to like juggle all the things. Yeah, anyway, that's where we're at. Got just a quick anxious update for you. I'm gonna check in later. Good morning, vlog. It is right around 8 o'clock Hawaii time, which I think is 2 p.m. Eastern time, but like my body's all out of whack because of jet lag, but we made it. It's very cute here, staying in a nice hotel. Great mini bar. Our room's a little bit askew. Hello vlog. I haven't checked in quite some time. I didn't check in at all in Maui, which I meant to, but very on brand for me. On vacation, Maui was really great, very relaxing. Good to see the family. That's gonna be our holiday visits of family for this year since we're going to Spain for Christmas. So tried to make the most of it. It was very relaxing. I went a bunch as a kid, so it was kind of like nostalgic too, and it was cool showing Max around. Yeah, like can't complain. Beautiful, beautiful place and like relaxing trip. We got back from Maui this morning at like 7:30 a.m. We had a red eye. We had like an afternoon flight to LAX, and then LAX was a red eye to Newark, and I'm very tired. In part because of the red eye, but also because super jet lagged. We got home, we napped a little bit for like a couple hours, and then I had a chiropractor appointment at like 12:30, which I thought would be, I think like when I scheduled it, I was kind of thinking would be like a nice thing to like force me out and about. So did that. We're just gonna have like a little reset day and then get back to it tomorrow. I will say that I feel like just like right now, this kind of little quarter in life, I guess, I feel like I've just had like a lot of anxiety, but it's kind of like the like floaty type that like kind of latches onto anything. So I'm kind of like observing myself kind of fixate on things and like be anxious about things in ways that are like just like a little bit more intense. I don't know. I suppose anyone with anxiety will probably relate to this, where it's like, at the very least, like what I've come to learn about myself is that like sometimes there are periods where it's not like there's like one thing that's like stressing me out. I'll just notice that like I'll be really freaked out about this one thing, and then I don't know, maybe forget about it, or like something else happens, or there's something else to focus on, and then I get really freaked out about that one thing, and it's like the feeling is the same, like the feeling of this like urgent need to like fix it or address it or like hide from it or whatever is the same, but it keeps kind of latching onto different things. So I feel like I experienced a little bit of that Maui. What was kind of nice was that I think it kind of helped dispel that for a little bit. I think like the relaxation kind of allowed me to like escape from that a little bit. But I will say traveling back, probably between like all the lack of sleep and also just like the kind of alcohol and like food habits, whatever, catching up to me, I feel like coming back I was like, oh, there it is again. But I'm glad I at least got like a little break from it. I think that's a good sign. But yeah, weird. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a chemical thing or what, but that's where we're at. Like I said, we're gonna have a little reset day and then we're back to it. I'm back to it tomorrow. Max has another day off because he's a butthead. I think jet lag is gonna get me real bad. I'm thinking about emailing my boss today and just being like, hey, is it cool if I take a work from home day tomorrow? Just so I can like be horizontal. Not like the whole day, but just like, I don't know. Sometimes like just laying down after like for like 15 minutes really does the body a lot of good. Yeah, that's it for now. The anxiety, it just is. I've lived with my brain for a long time. This shit happens, but Maui was still really great. And yeah. Hello vlog. It is the middle of the work week, like literally it's Wednesday, even though technically my work week only started yesterday. I thought I'd just do a quick little check-in, Max is out at like a work dinner tonight. I thought I'd take the opportunity to record because, and this has not happened to me as organically of late, but I feel like I do kind of have like a topic that is kind of especially relevant to my life of late that I feel like can be kind of a nice maybe theme for this video. And that topic is anxiety. And the reason that's the topic is because I've been feeling so much of that of late. And it's so funny because like a lot of my circumstances have not necessarily lent themselves to like surplus anxiety. And yet here we are. I mean, I think in some instances it has. So, you know, for the last few weeks, we've been traveling like a ton. I would say for the last like 6 weeks, we've been traveling a bunch. Like we are more or less just like, we have more or less like missed most of the fall in New York this year because we've just been like traveling so much. And I know I'm being like kind of vague, but unfortunately like the anxiety is kind of vague. It's not any one thing in particular. And I'm just, the reason I can tell it's like kind of more my brain or something chemical or like something that's not like related to a specific circumstance or like specific stressor in my life is because it keeps kind of getting applied to random things. Which I just like, I guess it's like kind of nice because it's a reminder that I haven't necessarily experienced that in a while. But yeah, I've just been noticing like my brain kind of latching on to like anxious thoughts or like latching on to like anxious kind of fixations and like spirals, like kind of as they come and go, just like opportunistically, I should say. So, you know, at the start of last week, it was like something related to work. And then, you know, the next day I was over that because I was stressed out about something else. And then like the next day it was something else. Or like when we went to go on the plane, I was stressed out anew about a work thing again. Or I think that was like coming back from the flight. Like so I just like keep finding things to just like hurl all of my anxiety towards. And I almost wonder if it's like dissipating now or if I'm just, I was telling Max, like I think I'm like anxious girl autumn. Tis the season. That's what we're doing so far. You know, it'd be nice if it goes away, but I'm kind of trying to like come to terms with the fact that like it might not, and that's okay. We can hang on. We can hang tight. I do think that this week has been pleasantly like restabilizing. Like I feel like because we were traveling so much, like I was just like destabilized. Like I didn't have my routines to fall back on as easily or as readily. And like when I did, they were kind of interrupted by other things that like needed to get done. Like there was a lot of prep that I wanted to do for the Maui trip, like both at work because it was my first like week-long trip, like week plus trip at this job. So I think that was probably contributing some anxiety, especially in the work front, but maybe that kind of spilled over into the life front. I'm not really sure. I guess I've just kind of been laughing at myself because I have been in this like kind of anxious period. And like I was like when I was observing the anxiety I was feeling like on when we like kind of landed back in New York on Monday because we did red eye, I was just kind of like I was kind of both like in it and also kind of observing it where it was just like, man, okay, so here we go again. I think initially it was like anxiety, like I'm stressed out about this work thing. I like realized I'd like made an error and just really got in my head about that. Like not so much that I was like debilitated, but just like I was thinking about it more than I wanted to. And so it was kind of like, God, can I just like let this go? Like Jesus, like can't we just like chill out? But it's kind of one of those things where your brain is just like, no, but if we chill out or like if we let it go, like it'll pose a threat to us in another way or it'll happen again and then we'll experience this whole thing all over again and it'll be terrible. And I think it's those kind of like spirals. And I just have this instinct to fix it. And I think that's really part of the problem because it's like some things just like don't have to be fixed, you know, and I think we're like better off if we just like accept it and like allow it. But I was running on very little sleep and I did not have the wherewithal to think of that at the time. So I was mostly just like, why the fuck am I so anxious about this thing? This is annoying. And then also kind of realizing like, oh wait, like this is my new thing. Like, I was feeling anxious about something in the airport just before this. And like, yeah, maybe I had like a small break at the end of the trip in Maui because I finally chilled the fuck out. But at the start of the trip, I had things I was anxious about. Like, before the trip, I had things I was anxious about. Like, it was just like kind of realizing this has been like a part of a larger pattern is almost like comforting in a way, because it's like, okay, so maybe I can take it with a grain of salt when my brain offers me like really anxious thoughts and like feelings, and like just kind of allow them and like know that it's like unpleasant, but I might not always take those thoughts and feelings very seriously, right? Because I think that's part of the problem is like when you're in it, you just feel like you're always going to feel that intensely about the thing that you're feeling intensely about. And of course you can't know, but it's like more than likely there will be a time when it just, you look back on it and you're like, that was such small potatoes. I don't know why I was in such a headspace about it. But anyway, I thought that'd be a nice, just given that's been my general disposition of late, I thought that'd be a nice theme for the vlog. And the ironic thing about all of this anxiety is that I feel like the thing that I feel like has helped it a lot is just like going back to work. Or I don't even know if that's like helped the anxiety, but like, you know, yesterday I was back at it and I had such a nice time. I was like at the office and I was just kind of observing myself, like joking around and like laughing and like having a nice time. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And maybe it just took like kind of getting back to it and like not having this like pressure to have like a certain type of time, and just like not taking your brain too seriously, like taking your brain's thoughts with a grain of salt, just like reminding yourself that the anxiety thing is like fight or flight. It's probably like related to some form of survival, and like you could just be like, I guess when you put it in that way, it's like, oh, why does my brain think I'm in danger? And like, why during this period does my brain feel like I'm in danger maybe all the time? Like, what does that mean? Like, I can just like accept that and be curious about what might be happening to kind of promote that feeling a little bit extra. And then, you know, once you're in that headspace, it's like you kind of become like a little creative problem solver, and or at least I do. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Like I said, I feel like a little bit better this week, so maybe Anxious Girl Autumn will be short-lived, which is fine because it's rapidly becoming really fucking cold in New York, so 'tis the season, but it's come and gone. Or it's about to come and go. Or it will continue, and that's also fine. And hopefully this kind of like curiosity that had occurred to me to try to cultivate will be useful and just like making it feel a bit more manageable. Because I feel like I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, damn, my brain has been so mean to me these last few weeks. And I wish it would shut the fuck up. Or just like stop and like take a break and like not be so worried. And that's where I'm at. I'm speaking to you just after coming home from work. And I intend, do I still intend? Yeah, I think I intend to go to the gym in just a moment. It's probably gonna be like a chill gym day. Like I said, I'm getting back to it. And something that's nice about being kind of like in the winter months and between, it's like vacations are over for a while, I don't feel the need to like, you know, be perfectly on my routine, on my gym routine, on our like normal routines, like in the way that I would if we had like more travel coming up or whatever else, just to like, you know, squeeze out as much routine as I can in like a short period of time. I don't really need to do that because I feel like I have all the time in the world to fall back into my routines, and it's really nice. I'm also eager to fall back into my routines, but I don't feel the need to like force it, which is also contributing to a sense of relaxation that is maybe contributing to me feeling less anxious. It sucks when you realize you are the source of your own problems, but here we are. Yeah, so then I'm gonna work out, and then I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna heat up leftovers, and that's it. I think at some point I mentioned I've been trying to do this like self-check-in thing to try to be more like intentional about how I spend my evenings. Tonight was definitely like, I guess I like checked in with myself in the middle of the day And I was like, oh, well, given Max's new plans, like, could be a good opportunity to record for the video and work out and like kind of kill a couple of birds with one stone. It's funny because my last name is legally still Stone in the state of New York, so I am the stone that is killing the birds. But no pun intended. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that and try to have a chill night. There's been a lot of reflection today, so I'm resisting the urge to just like dump all of that in this recording session. So I'm gonna get ready for the gym now. I will check in later. The gym outfit is on. I will be working out. Also, look how tan I am from Maui. Don't get used to it. This is probably never gonna happen again.